Hey guys, sorry I didn't post yesterday. I filmed and ended up not liking the video and didn't post. But tomorrow I am going to be doing a prep with me video. I'm going to be prepping for ALDC Dance Boot Camp 2022. Also, I have Hip Hop with Guy Group on Saturday. But anyways, I'm going to be prepping my room, plugging my air conditioner in, putting my fold up dance mat, and I'm moving it a little bit. And just making sure everything's easy access and stuff. I physically can't wait. I'm so excited right now. But this video is all about voice lessons and singing and that whole side of things, because I feel like I don't really know. I feel like I kind of, I like to say that I'm a different person in voice lessons than I am in dance. I like to say I have a lot of personality. There's a lot of things about me. And some of them, when you first hear them, you're like, how are you this, but also this? Because they're complete opposites. And then when I explain it, then it's oh wait, that makes sense. The fact that I will say I am shy, but I'm also outgoing, the most outgoing. And you're probably how can you be both? And the answer to that is when it comes to, when it comes to just normal, life, then, I'm shy. And I will say that. But part of that is because I do choose not to make a ton of friends. And because I would rather have, two real friends versus, I would rather have, two real friends versus have 10 fake friends. I would rather have a smaller friend group where all of them are actually my friends and not just using me to get famous. Because even though I'm not famous yet, one day. But anyways, I like to say that one day I'm gonna become a pop star, and that I know that if I keep working hard, that might actually happen. If I keep working hard, if I keep listening to Allison Porter and Carrie Larson and all of my dance teachers, Abby Lee Miller, Gianna Martello, Natalie Mead, Taylor something or other, or Lissa something or other, wait, let me think. Danny, also known as Daniela. I kind of feel like that's all my dance. You get the point. All of my dance teachers and my voice teachers, I know that if I keep listening to them and I keep working hard, then it will happen. And the thing is, I'm the last person to give myself credit. And what I mean by that, and I'll get to that in a second, but what I was saying about being shy but outgoing is when it comes to life, I'm shy. When I don't know you, I'm very shy. But when it comes to my career, when it comes to what I'm trying to make into a career, and it comes to oh, we have something as a base of oh, you know me on social media, or oh, you've seen me in a dance class, or oh, you've seen me in a voice lesson, and I haven't met a fan before, or I definitely have had fans DM me before and be hey, I'm a fan, and keep up the good work. And I'm that stuff means a lot to me. You don't have to, by the way, nobody has to do that. But when you do, it does mean a lot to me. And when you do, I do try my best to reply and say thanks. And I put a little heart, I heart your DM. And I'm that's the sort of thing where I do try to do that because I know what it's like. I to like dream of someone like being a huge fan of someone on social media and dream of them like replying to you and then like they just don't because like that happens and stuff and so I like try I try not to do that. I try to always be like thanks and then a little heart like on your DM or your comment. So like I'm able to like your comment. I'm not able to put a heart on it. But like, cause that stuff means a lot to me. And just hearing like fans because also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. I can't remember if I said that already in this video, but anyways, I'm just really excited because what I mean by I'm like shy and outgoing is when it comes to like, oh, you see me in a dance class, as you like, oh, you've seen me in a voice lesson before, like, oh, like I was on Zoom taking a voice lesson and you were in the class, or like I was on Zoom taking a dance lesson and you were in the class. Then it's like when you like I put something in the chat like directed towards me and you're like, oh, I'm a fan. That's when I'm a little bit more like, oh, that's great. Like I always say like, oh, that's great. But then what I mean is when it comes to like I'm a teacher or something or like being professional or like being like spotlighted on Zoom and like have to dance for every single person or sing for every single person. Like I that's when I'm like the most outgoing thing ever. Like I feel like honestly now I feel like that's a kind of like my thing. And what I mean by that is like here's the thing, I'm gonna be honest. It's right here. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with this. I feel like I have always known that I wasn't gonna do something boring or something in my opinion that was boring in my like career like one day. And what I mean by that is because when I was little I wanted to do gymnastics and that's something different. Like I feel like that's not what I would think when like I think of something like I'm kind of boring. That's not something that comes to mind. And then it was like gymnastics seems cool. Oh, I still think it's cool, but it's not my thing. And I feel like I remember I would get so disappointed every time my mom would be like, no, you can't like do gymnastics, like you could seriously get hurt or something. Like I like she like said that, and the truth is that wasn't really her reason. She like I just felt gymnastics was like not for me, and like she wanted me to like really wait a while before I like put my before I invest so much into something. Like she wanted to like get me until or like wait until I'm like 10 years old at least. And because I would always ask and she's like, well, like you might want to think about this. Like you could seriously get hurt or something, or what if you don't like it, or like. And part of it was because she knew I knew absolutely nothing about gymnastics. Like I didn't like I heard the word gymnastics and I knew it was a sport. And like that was it. So that was what she was doing. And it wasn't her being like, no, you can't do this. Like, it was her being like, you might want to, like, learn a little bit about it first before you decide you want to do it. And so, yeah, but I remember I would get disappointed. And now I'm like, I'm beyond excited that she did that. Because that led me to dance and it led me to like training to be a pop star. Well, that and my crush. He definitely played a huge part in that. And if he's watching this, then and thank you, because you pushed me to sing so many times, and honestly, if you wouldn't have, I wouldn't be doing this. And I like to say, hey, I'm the type of person where it wasn't one of those where, like, anyone can say you're really good at it, and, like, it wasn't like just anyone could say it and it would click the same way. It was that had to be him that said it. Like that's why I like to say, like when I, like, became an Abby favorite, and I was getting so annoyed and, like, so in my head about being perfect. And then Abby said something to me like, as long as I'm working hard, I'm not letting her down. And it was like, it had to be said, but it had to be said by Abby. So, like, that's just kind of how things work in my brain. It's like, sometimes I need to hear something, but I need to hear it from someone specific, like, not just anyone. And stuff. That's why, like, when I'm in voice lessons, and someone will, like, put in the chat, like, oh, you did really good. And I'm in my head, like, it's nice that they said that, but, like, it kind of doesn't hit me as much as, like, it doesn't fully click in my brain. Like, that's nice, but, like, I feel like it's different when, like, the teacher or the substitute teacher or, like, says it. When, like, Carrie said, like, oh, you did a really good job today. I'm like, it just clicks differently. It, like, makes me really aware of, like, I'm really talented. And, like, I don't always see it, and that's the thing. And I don't always see it because I don't let myself. I'm the first person to tell myself, you messed up, you need to fix it, the whole thing was horrible. Whenever I make a mistake. Because for multiple reasons. Reason one is I never want fame to get in my head. So I never want to be like, oh, I'm really talented. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm fame to get in my head and think I'm the best in the world. But also because if I made a mistake, I want to be aware of the mistake so I can fix the mistake so it won't happen again. And it just makes me work really hard. It makes me work really hard, and it, like, makes me, like, the moment where I do give myself credit, and I'm like, okay, you can have 60 seconds to celebrate, and then back to work. Then it's like those moments mean even more. And for me, I'm constantly training. Like, what I mean is I am the one that, like, it will be, like, late at night getting ready for bed, that whole situation, and then all of a sudden I'm doing a split. Or all of a sudden I'm like bent in half. Or, like, all of a sudden and I'm doing a heel stretch into a side tilt. I'm leaping around the house. I'm turning around the house. Like, I'm just constantly training. Like, I'm constantly training. And I will say I train way more in dance than I do in singing. But that's because I dance around the house. Which is great. And that's because multiple reasons. First up, I've been singing, like, in voice lessons for over a month now. So that's a pretty decent amount of time. Today is actually, like, my 6th or my 7th voice lesson. I'm not exactly sure, I lost track. But anyways, like, also because, here's the thing, and I'm doing really challenging stuff in voice lessons because I like to make it challenging for myself. Like, I get to pick the song that I sing, a part of it, and then it's like, and then I like to really challenge myself to do it. Then, like, like one of those situations, I like to really give myself a challenge. And I like testing my voice. My voice, if it can, I like to really test it. I like to get it as high as I can. And I'm the one that, in voice lessons, and I'll randomly just go as high as I can, even though I don't need to. I just like to. So, yeah. And the fact is that it's just really cool. I love singing so much. And unfortunately, this is my last week with Carrie Carrie Larson. And she's my substitute. And I'm happy that I met her and I got to work with her, but I'm also I don't want it to be over. In my perfect world, I would have Allison and Carrie. But unfortunately, that's probably not gonna happen. And that's kind of sad. But anyways, I feel like I'm doing really good in voice lesson, and I know I am because I was talking to Carrie, I had DM'd her, or she had DM'd me something because I had posted something. So I posted on my Instagram story something saying thank you, to her and Allison, it was a thank you, and saying that I'm always gonna remember I remember everything they have taught me, and that is true. I feel like I have a really good memory, and so everything that a professional has said to me, or just in general, that I heard, I remember it. I remember stuff from a year and a half ago, the littlest things that a dance teacher said and stuff I just remember so much and that's really great. And honestly, I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for my crush, and I'm really thankful for that. And even though I don't have him in voice lessons, and that actually happened one day. If I logged on for a voice lesson and found him on there, I don't know what my reaction would be. I would be very mind blown and just beyond excited about that. And it would probably end up being the greatest day of my life or something. And as of right now, that's a hard pick because there's kind of a tie between a couple. But I feel ultimately if I had to pick, it would be Squad Tour, or either Squad Tour or Another Day. Which was the last. Oh wait, there was that happened that day, and then it kind of ruined the day. And ultimately, if I had to pick the best day of my life, it would either be Squad Tour or the last time I saw my crush. 'Cause that day, even though there was news that kind of made that day no, but because I did find out he was dating someone, and that was kind of just I just kind of kept going and acted like nothing even happened. And even though I heard it, and even though I didn't and want it to be real, it happened. But also at the same time, even though I don't have my crush in voice lessons, I have a very talented voice teacher and a very talented substitute voice teacher. And Carrie last week, she's a substitute, and now it's her last week, and I'm like, I don't want it to be over. She taught me so much, and luckily there's one more voice lesson with her, because honestly we weren't sure if last week was gonna be the last one or not. And luckily it wasn't. And I say that because I'm like, Allison is incredible, but so is Carrie. And so I'm happy we got one more week with her, at least. But she had DM'd me something I'm talking about how hard I work and stuff. And today I'm still kind of figuring out. I'm really thinking about the song, and I think I have we will see. Mm, because the thing is, I want to do a song that a song that I can really emotionally connect to, which is gonna be kind of challenging, because here's the thing, is that I don't really get emotionally connected to too many things or songs. Oh, I love you, Sam. Sam is looking at me are you emotionally connected to me? Yes, I'm connected with you. I love you. But anyways, sorry, there's a train. But anyways, I'm gonna kind of say peace out. But there's not too many songs that I get connected to. There is one that I might do. And yeah, peace out.